Hello, sorry, y'all. My microphone wasn't unmuting for a second. That's why I was like, I know you just saw Doug there for a hot second while I was just
Well,
like frantically clicking.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, because I was moving the screen around. Usually, there's a little, like, oh, hello, or something like a second after, and then I saw me go live there. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm out. Okay, hi. I have to do my big goofy smile, which will never be the thing for the thumbnail. It'll always be like me, like that. So
Just staring at us deadpan. I know, headshot. I know. Listen, it was, I'll blame the tech. It was a microphone fail. I
I
apologize.
think it was Chaplin. It's his fault.
Chaplin?
It's
I
Chaplin's fault.
thought
I don't
you
know.
loved these moments that we had together, Chaplin.
I lied.
Oh, dang it. I never expected that from you, Chaplin.
I'm a liar.
I'm a liar.
I gotta home this way because I keep seeing that the microphone keeps getting in the way. The people want to see his cute little face when he scratches Billy. So
do.
yes,
It's
we are
true.
doing that.
It's true. But yes, hello everyone. The microphone is
Hey.
unmuted and we are fine and everything is great. Welcome to Chatting with Doug, where you get to ask this guy and Chaplin, of course, very important questions that you've always wanted to know from the source himself. Okay. I see that we are already on a hype train on Twitch, and there are a ton of questions pouring in over on YouTube. So I'm going to get to the rules so we can get to the questions. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages and super chats, since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, sometimes we'll have time to go back and look at highlighted questions over on Twitch. Oh, I shouldn't say go back, to look at highlighted questions on Twitch or regular YouTube chat questions. But we do give priority to those questions with the real world money spent there. On the YouTube side of things, we prioritize super chats that are $5 and over. We just get a large volume of questions, and that helps us kind of pare down the questions. Because, again, I've said this for multiple weeks, but I swear we do want to get to those non-paid questions. So the easiest way to do that is to filter some of those out. Also on the YouTube side of
The
things,
Utah side.
Utah. Also on the YouTube side of things, don't worry if your super chat gets unpinned. You don't have to repeat it. I have a list. It is very rare that we actually miss a question. Have some patience. Sometimes we can get up to an hour behind. Again, it's pretty rare that we actually miss it. We just get behind. Have some patience. We will get to it. On that same note, please don't repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. Please keep your questions short and to the point. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, and the less likely it is that we understand it and we do not have time to repeat it. Along those same lines, that also applies to parts. If you absolutely must split your message up into multiple parts, keep it to 3 absolute maximum. Again, we just kind of lose the point and we don't have time to figure out what you were talking about in 5 and how it relates to what's happening in 8 right now. So 3 absolute max, please. No spoilers. Not everyone has had a chance to see the latest and greatest. I cannot tell you how sad I am that I cannot watch Arcane, the next batch of episodes that drop while we're at the convention.
Oh, wait, is that when they're dropping? They're
Saturday.
dropping.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They're
I thought it was gonna be
Saturday.
No, because I'm getting through the first 3. I saw, like, yeah, they're gonna have more, and I'm just like, oh, what? Come on! I thought it was gonna be like months later, like sometime next year. Okay, so it's Saturday. That makes me feel a little better. Okay.
Yeah, but not everyone has watched the first 3 episodes. I know some people are waiting for the whole thing to drop. Point is, no spoilers of shows, movies, anything that's like come out in the last like 2 months or so. Okay, let's give people a little bit of time. All right. I think that's it.
I think we're good.
All right, great, fantastic. Let's do it then. Retro Schmo, thank you for the $10 super chat. I think Chief Brody from Jaws seemed to deal with his water phobia really well, and he actually did seem like the hero type, but a quiet family man who had yet to earn respect.
I agree. One of the many things that makes it a good movie.
TAFCG Gaming, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Doug. Next Nostalgia Critic video, can you review Paul Blart Mall Cop 1 and 2?
I saw the first one. I remember a lot of people saying they actually liked it okay, and I can see that didn't do much for me. And I didn't see the second one, heard it was bad, and I don't know. I don't have much interest in it. I couldn't really see that many jokes I could get out of it. I have no passion for it, so and I don't think it would do well. Maybe it would. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not that interested, so probably not.
Oh, also, ironically, Twitch chat is reminding me to watch our language because YouTube.
That's true.
Ram, thank you for the 500 bits. Speaking of video game movies, aren't you going to review FNAF soon? You did Banana Splits in Willy's Wonderland after all. Five Nights at Freddy's. FNAF is Five Nights at Freddy's. Sorry, I just realized that look was like, you don't know what FNAF means, do you? All right.
If I saw it spelled out, I'd catch on. But yeah, maybe. I mean, there is stuff to talk about, but it was just so dull. It's like a handful of cool stuff in it, but then everything else I thought was like pretty boring. And I don't know much about the game. Like I did play the first game, but I didn't get, super far or anything. So I don't know. Am I willing to unleash that fandom? I'm not sure. Because I do know the fandom's very passionate about it. I also know they didn't go back to see it the second weekend. So I think that says something. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe at some point.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. I know you're more of a Buster Keaton fan, but what are your thoughts on Charlie Chaplin's The Great Dictator?
Oh, I liked it. I think everybody always takes that final speech and they play it for. I mean, really, whenever somebody's candidate doesn't win, I feel like they always play that speech. But it is a good speech. And if you're gonna have Charlie Chaplin talk in something, I think it's good to show how eloquent, articulate he could be. Even before then, people said he was very well spoken and everything. So yeah, no, I remember liking it. I to some extent, it's a product of the times, obviously, seeing who he's dressed up as and everything. But I also think, there's a lot of stuff that still holds true in it. So, yeah, I remember being very good.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Well, the review explains why I got Borderlands 3 from PlayStation Network for free during the film's release. I should have known better since the first T-Mobile Tuesday reward was a free Suicide Squad ticket.
Nothing but the finest prices you win.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. I have an idea for how to fix the boring looking Neverland in Peter Pan and Wendy. This is part 1 of 3.
Okay.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Good evening, all. Doug, I was wondering, have you seen Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood? If so, thoughts?
I've only seen a little bit. The little bit I saw was pretty funny. But I did also see it like back when it came out. So I was pretty young. I think I was like, I don't know, 11, 12, something like that. But I was watching it Living Color, so I like a lot of humor. But or was it later than that? I can't remember. But anyway, I've only seen bits and pieces. I've never seen the whole thing. I probably should sit down and watch the whole thing because what I saw, I remember being pretty funny.
Small Movie World, thank you for that 55-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. You know what? I think I know why you've said you really feel home anytime you've come over to Scotland. It's because you're from Chicago and we share the exact same cold, crazy, unpredictable weather. Am I right?
I mean, it was pretty chilly when I went there. Scotland's maybe just a touch more scenic. Maybe has a little bit more history. But yeah, no, I loved it there. I would love to go back.
Brian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Is next week Donut Week?
I'll never tell, but yes.
Dave's Dragon, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug and Heather, how goes the commercial special?
Good. I literally just got done editing it, so good.
The Wizard, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 2. There's a game called Disney Infinity that has a toy box mode where you can make your own world where the only limit is your imagination.
Cool.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. How were you able to have Michael Salvatore in the commercial special, and what did he think of being there to not be heard?
So, and Rob's always like, don't tell anybody this. I don't care. I think it's funny. He's a family friend. And for years, I always knew him as the guy that helped write the Flintstones vitamin commercial. Because like I said, I forget that was his daughter or his niece, something like that, does a little egg growing. And then we always see him at family get-togethers, and we just talk, catch up, and whatever. And I just never asked how his work was going, and I had no idea they did like Halo and Destiny and all these other games. I was like, oh, and when I found that out, I'm like, wait, this might actually be really funny because I guess he wasn't really out there like too much in terms of like showing what he looks like, so a lot of people wouldn't know what he looks like. So we just talked about it. He said he was totally down, and I said, yeah, let's just do it. I think this would be really funny, and yeah, he was great at being really boring. He did a great job of that.
Invader Zim, thank you for the 500 bits. Saw your Hobbit review. Love triangle good, smog bad. Please explain yourself.
Uh, sure it was me. I don't know. Because well, wait. So I did. That's right. I did the first two. Uh, but I gotta watch it again because I haven't seen the second one since it came out. I just remember not being a real fan of it, but I liked the first one a great deal. So I don't know. We talked about like maybe at some point doing like one of the theme months being like a Middle Earth month or something like that, and doing like the Lord of the Rings movies and the Hobbit movies. So but I mean, don't hold us to that. We have other options, so we'll see. But if I do, I'll go into more detail there.
Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. Hello, Heatherlands and Duggerlands. First off, how are you guys? Second, Doug, did you listen to Bleeders? If not, I'll ask again next week.
No, not yet. I'm sorry. Oh, excuse me. Something coming up there. I'll put in my little thing here so I don't forget because I did want to check that out.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the film Marty? It won Ernest Borgnine, an Oscar, thank you, for one of his few starring roles.
I think I've heard of it. I've never seen it though. So I'll try to check that out at some point.
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's the cooler action scene? Helicopter chase from Terminator 2 or semi-truck chase in Dark Knight?
I was frozen today.
So the cooler scene is the cooler one's probably Terminator 2, but I'm more invested in the Dark Knight. I legit didn't know like what the outcome was going to be. And I mean, okay, you can even though I was gonna say you can assume Batman's gonna win, but it's like, how much is he gonna win though? Like, how much is he gonna lose? I think is kind of the bigger question. So I think I got more into that, but in terms of like just the staging and everything, the stunt work, yeah, I'd probably say Terminator 2.
Retro Schmo, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you know who the character actor Griffin Dunn is? I have by name since I was barely a teen from My Girl, but few people seem to know who he is.
Griffin Gunn. Let me see.
Griffin Dunn with a D.
Oh, Dunn. Okay.
Dunn.
Dunn.
Dunne.
And an E. That's why you said with an E. Nice. Not ringing a bell. I'm sure if I look up like his IMDb or something, I'll recognize him at something. But no, offhand, I don't know who he is. I'm sorry.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is part 3 of 3. What if Neverland was like the toy box, where everything that was in Neverland was up to the kids' imagination? Kind of like in Hook, but on a grander scale.
Our show did something like that called Fox's Peter Pan the Pirates. It was a very good show, a very underrated show. And when the last episodes, Peter actually wants to grow up and he starts to grow up, and Neverland kind of changes. It starts to, dissolve and melt and go gray and colorless and everything like that. I always thought that was kind of a cool idea because you're right. That is kind of what Neverland is a little bit. It's kind of children's imaginations and everything, and they play with that a little bit. I'd be down for that. Yeah, just more than what we got. I mean, I know it's supposed to be like Victorian time, but I'm like, even Victorian times kids have better imaginations than that, I feel like.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 500 bits. Happy Wednesday, everyone. My girlfriend doesn't use Twitch, so I feel safe saying this. Next Monday is her birthday, and I'm surprising her with tickets to an early screening of Wicked. It's the first musical that we saw together. I'm so excited. She's going to love it.
Oh, awesome.
That sounds so fun.
If you want more info on the movie, go to wickedmovie.com. Just there's a little bit of confusion this past week.
Don't do what Mattel did. Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, another game I think is worth adding to your list is Hi-Fi Rush. It has stylized animation, Spider-Verse vibes, and music rhythm combat. I adored Hi-Fi Rush. It was one of my favorite games of the year. Like, what was that, 2 years ago it came out? Adored Hi-Fi Rush.
All right, I'll put that down as a
It's very
possibility.
fun.
Hi-Fi
I
Rush.
don't
Got it.
know if you'll love it, but you might.
I'm down. I'm down for at least looking into it.
I adored it. Alexander,
was
thank you for the
chosen
500
today.
bits. What do you think of this week's Bob's Burgers episode where they hold an open mic night at the restaurant?
I liked it. The only thing is they were building up that last song so much, and then they just went into the credits with it. I'm just like, no, I wanted to see like everyone's reaction to it. I wanted to see him do even more with that because I thought the buildup was so good. And the song was really, really funny. So yeah, that was my one critique of it. But yeah, no, I thought it was pretty good.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. I think Agatha all sorry, blah, 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 let me try that again. I thought Agatha all along was going to be unnecessary. Boy, was I wrong. You need to watch it if you haven't. It's so worth it.
I am actually
Yeah.
based on people's recommendation, particularly Heather. She really pushed I should keep watching. I think I finished episode 5, and it's like I'm not in love with it, but I do like it. It's a lot more interesting. I think as soon as you got past that first episode, yeah, like suddenly turned on. So yeah, I am enjoying it.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. You know, there's a pair of NC reviews I'm shocked you've not done by this point. Flight of the Navigator and The Exorcist 3. No matter how many times I check the CA YouTube channel, it's not in the file. It's not!
I don't, because again, we go back and forth between what we have passion for and what'll get views, what'll stand out in the algorithm and stuff, and I don't think either of those are going to really stand out in the algorithm. I don't know how many people are going to click on it. Also, it's hard. Maybe there's a few moments in Exorcist 3, but it's hard to get laughs out of it because they're just so good. I really, really enjoy them, and I do still want some comedic elements in there. And yeah, I really, really enjoy both those movies, and I don't know how many funny moments I can really get out of it. So probably not. But if you all haven't seen them, they're both polar opposite movies, but both very, very good.
Oi, Ram, thank you for the 500 bits. So I found out who was directing Dogman before, and you reviewed one of his movies already. Hint, it's an early 2000s Disney movie, and they would like you to take a guess before I tell you what it is.
Okay, early 2000s. I mean, I'm not gonna try the director's name. I'll say the person who directed The Emperor's New Groove.
It's the person who directed Country Bears, directed by Peter Hastings.
Oh, the Animaniacs guy. Okay. Oh, that's kind of cool to see. All right. Oh, that makes me a little bit more excited for it. Okay. Actually, I still don't think I've seen the trailer. I gotta actually watch the trailer, but okay, that actually makes me really, really excited. And it's animations. All right, that's really cool.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the episode where Squidward moves in with SpongeBob after quitting the Krusty Krab? Watching SpongeBob slowly lose his nerve with Squidward's mooching is pretty hilarious.
Maybe. It sounds familiar. I feel like I've seen like a few scenarios in that show where somebody's moved in with somebody else. But I can't remember that many jokes from it. So maybe. That's a very, very solid maybe.
Edge Bedlam, thank you for the 59 NOK through Super Chat. A Doctor Who is also a barber in The Last Wish. Puss in Boots stole that idea from Flapjack's Dr. Barber.
Well, now I know.
JT, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey there, Doug. I know we've passed Halloween at this point, but if you haven't seen it already, 1990's Jacob's Ladder with Tim Robbins is amazing. It's a Halloween tradition of mine that ages better every passing year, a masterpiece of psychological horror.
Is it a Halloween movie? I think that's a movie I started, and for whatever reason, I was really tired or something. I couldn't stay awake for it, so I just sort of said, "Hey, I'll finish it some other time." And maybe I missed the horror elements. It was definitely very psychological from what I saw, but yeah, maybe it gets more into the horror elements, and I missed that part. So I will try to check it out and actually watch it all the way through.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness?
I never saw it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I hear it's good. I should probably give it a chance. Yeah, I should give it a shot.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Gravity Falls, what do you think of Old Man McGucket? McGucket? I think I said that right. He's one of my favorite characters, and I like how he goes from a one-note joke character to having such a big backstory and a big role in the story.
That was good. I like that. I like they really did do something with that character. Before then, though, I mean, like, he's fine for what he is. He didn't usually make me laugh, but I know this type of character and what they're doing with him, and it's like he's fine for what he is, but he's never not one of my personal favorites, but I can see why he would be somebody else's favorite.
Ymir, thank you for the $5 super chat. Best animated Duck TV character. Daffy, Donald, Scrooge, the Nephews, Tailspin, Darkwing. For my money, I give it to Duckula.
Man, I feel like it's got to be Daffy. That's just a personal favorite. I feel like I've stolen so much from that character. It's got to be him.
Tim, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug and Heather, what point and click adventure games do you remember playing growing up?
A lot of Lucas ones, like Full Throttle, the Monkey Island games. I think I played that. Was it Fate of Atlantis, the Indiana Jones one? I played an old Star Trek game actually, so there were a couple. Oh, a Sam and Max, another one.
I did a lot of the Humongous Entertainment ones, so like the Freddy Fishes and Spy Fox and Putt Putt, but I also did like Monkey Island, although I did just play Grim Fandango for the first time like a year and a half ago, and it was great. I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, I read that would be fun. Day of the Tentacle, that's another one. I think it's another LucasArts one.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Just before this year's special drops, favorite NC commercial moment/joke. I don't know why, but the one that always gets me is, I love Fraggle Rock. Then why'd you turn it off?
I do like that joke a lot. It's such a simple joke. Man, I don't know. The one that Rob always brings up, because I love the editing of it and the performance and everything, is the kid growing older drinking milk, but then she keeps going until like she becomes too obsessed with her looks, and then she becomes like homeless and everything, and she becomes like an addict. And I can't say it on YouTube, but Malcolm's announcer voice just saying milk, what the F, was just so funny. And that just the timing of that and everything worked out really well. I don't know if that's my absolute favorite, but it's at least top 3.
I was frozen
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. I never have or will ever watch it, but I wanted to share a fact I learned about Cat in the Hat, where Tim Allen was originally going to play him, but couldn't as he was making Santa Claus 2.
Yeah, that was I mean, Santa Claus 2 isn't even like a masterpiece or anything, but it's definitely not Cat in the Hat, so he traded up.
I don't know what I'm doing. Thank you for the £5 super chat. Hey, Doug, have you ever considered reviewing the Barbie Nutcracker movie? It's delightfully jank. Plus, it stars the one and only Tim Curry.
Yes. Keep an eye out.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. Still waiting for an NC on Trap.
It's probably gonna be next year. Yeah, because we got the commercial special and then the Christmas reviews coming up. But I'll definitely do it, man. There's way too much material.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Possible NC on Ever After.
I mean, it is good. I don't know how many people would watch it, and then I don't know how many laughs I could get out of it. But it's a good movie. Like I said, I kind of feel like the Cinderella old versus new. That's kind of like our tip of the hat to Ever After. It is a really good movie. I'm still here. I'm just letting Champlin out here.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you watch Back to the Future trilogy on 4K Blu-ray? And did you know Universal made a censored version but destroyed all the copies after several complaints about it?
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of censor versions to run on TV over the years and stuff. Yeah, so that's not anything too crazy. No, I haven't seen the newer version, but I've seen the film so many times. Honestly, seeing it in 4K or whatever, I don't think I'm gonna be like, holy smokes, I gotta see. I really like those movies, but they're not ones when they're re-released or anything. I don't really go and watch them again. I think because everybody watched them all the time, and I always be at somebody's house where somebody would have it on. So it's I take it back. I did see the third one a lot. I don't know why. That's like everybody's least favorite now, but I really enjoyed the third one for whatever reason.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you consider doing Edgar Wright month for March? His movies are pretty nostalgic at this point.
So there's a couple movies, because the thing with his movies is that there's so much going on where it's kind of overload. And that's a good problem to have, but it's like, man, how do you even you're gonna miss like, not just miss something, you're gonna miss like 20 things just talking about like one scene. But after I did Across the Spider-Verse, I feel like I really got a lot of what I was looking to get out, get out of that and get across to people. Like it's not impossible because that movie had a ton going on. So maybe. We'll see. I'm gonna try and experiment with a couple different movies that have a lot going on, and see if I can get that across. Not every single thing, but hopefully most of them.
Superdroid, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. What are your thoughts on My Hero Academia? If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's a cool superhero animated and it's inspired by the DC and Marvel movies. I haven't seen it yet.
I
I
haven't
It's
either.
on my list. I know so many people who love that anime.
Yeah, people like it, like love it. I'm sure it's great, but there's a ton of animes I haven't seen yet, and I would love to see. I just don't have time.
On a Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Pop quiz, hot shot. You haven't reviewed Pinocchio and the Emperor of the Night because A, it wouldn't get clicks. B, you couldn't add anything new. Or C, other.
Probably the clicks, honestly. That's one I weirdly didn't see, even though I was about the right age and I would have seen the advertisements and stuff. But every time I look at these old compilations of 80s commercials and stuff, I always see these ads for this movie, and I'm just like, how did I miss this movie? I never got these ads for whatever reason, or maybe it was just deleted out of my mind. I don't know. But so I'm never in a hurry to review it, but I should check it out because that's definitely not the first time I've gotten a recommendation for that.
Stead, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, if you could change one of these sequels for the better, which one would it be and why? Hotel Transylvania 3, Kung Fu Panda 4, Shrek 3 and 4, Toy Story 4, or Despicable Me 4?
What's the second one? Because that was sounding right.
Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah, that one, because that's a pretty perfect trilogy. And I'm someone that actually thought 4 was good enough, did fine, but the other 3 were so good. It would be nice to really kind of like end that. If they're even going to end it, it sounds like they're going to make more, but let's make it at least on par with the other ones.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on Peaky Blinders? Finally started it recently and it's lived up to the hype so far. I'm working through season 3 right now and the theme song is glued in my head.
That's another one I haven't seen yet. I'm going to try and watch it when I get some time off. I got some time off in January, and it's a couple of shows I'm going to try and check out, and that's one I definitely want to put on because a lot of people, especially my brother, has been saying over and over, oh, this is before it blew up. He was like, you got to see the show. You got to see the show.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever seen the Scooby-Doo / Supernatural crossover episode? I'm honestly surprised how much not kid-friendly stuff they got into it.
It's kind of cool when Scooby-Doo does that. No, I also haven't seen Supernatural. So I know it has a diehard following. I guess it's been on for a long time. Didn't like its last season run or something like that. Like I didn't know it was still on. But that's cool. That's really, really cool. But I haven't seen it, so I'm sorry.
Justifiable, thank you for the $10 super chat. Long shot, but has there ever been any possibility of an AVGN X NC or like versus NC3? Asking because I've always wanted to see a Christmas special where it ends with Super Mecha Death Christ versus Santa Christ.
It's not on the docket, we're not like eyeing that. I always say, there's milking it and then there's milking it, buying the cow, chopping it up and eating it as hamburger. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we did that, but if something like really strikes us, it's like, oh, this is something we really want to do, we'll do it. But like I said, we've just done so much already that nothing's really screaming at us. If something feels right or is really screaming at us, we'll do it.
Trip Corey, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you ever review the Steve Barron Pinocchio? Also, It's a Wonderful Life is in the public domain. Go ahead and review it for Christmas.
Is it really? Oh man, they've had the copyright clause on that for a while. Like anyone that showed even a snippet, they're like, they go after them. It's kind of exciting. Ooh, I'll have to think about that. And what was the Pinocchio? Steve Barron?
Steve Barron Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. Let's see. That one. No, not yet. I am curious to check it out because I've heard mixed things. Actually, I was gonna say I've heard good things. I'm like, actually, it's more mixed, but I'm still curious.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. You don't like your junior review? We never would have gotten the boring song without it. That said, do you have a playlist of your critic original songs?
I do have a CD that we always joke like, because that's always just at the peak of anything. You always put out a lame CD, so that's what we did. But I don't think that one's on there. I'm sure somewhere somebody's got like a playlist or something, but on YouTube. But no, we don't. And congrats, I think you're the only one to like the boring song.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. NC for Gremlins for its 40th anniversary.
Okay.
Great. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Toy Story supporting character do you like more? Mr. Potato Head, Ham, Slinky, or Rex?
Let's see. Probably Ham, but he's best when he's teamed up with Mr. Potato Head. I like kind of the back and forth that they have.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the movie 1 Hour Photo?
It's all right. I thought the ending was a little bit of a letdown for what they were building up. Um, but it's good. You watch it for his performance. It's not even like the movie's like bad or awful or anything like that. But it is one of those where it's like, oh man, there was so much build up for this, and when you finally get to what it all is, it's kind of lame.
Jimmy Vance, thank you for the $5 super chat. Who do you think is more iconic, Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny?
Who do I like more? I like Bugs Bunny, but who's more iconic? It's clearly Mickey Mouse. Literally 3 circles, and you know who that is. That's I can't think of any other character that you can do that.
Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. A few days ago, I watched, in my opinion, the best animated film of the year. It's called Look Back. It's an emotional but also pretty touching story. It's gorgeously animated, and the ending brought me to tears. If you can find time to watch it, it's on Prime. Highly, highly recommend it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think I've seen this advertised a few. Actually, maybe I've seen the trailer for this. Okay, and it's on Prime. All right, I'll try to check it out.
Crass, thank you for the $5 super chat. I feel like the Minecraft movie is trying to be a likable bad film with all the memeable lines on purpose, but in turn is just a bad movie.
I mean, you're talking to a guy who hasn't ever played a second of Minecraft. So when I saw the trailer, I'm like, all right, doesn't look good, but just looks like a typical Hollywood whatever. I had a feeling there'd be backlash, but nothing like what I saw. So, you're asking the wrong guy. I mean, I'll review it when it comes out, but I'll have to go in as someone that knows nothing about Minecraft.
Stead, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, thanks for that first viewing of Pauly Shore's Pinocchio movie. I haven't laughed that hard in years.
Yeah, that was. You gotta see the actual movie, man. It's a hoot.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the trailer for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning?
Looks good. Again, I mean, the stunt on the plane looks cool. I mean, that's one of the main reasons to go see the movies now. His movies, which is honestly kind of a cool thing. I mean, you don't want him to die or anything, but it's like it is a cool thing. We haven't really seen that since, I don't know, maybe Jackie Chan did his own stunts. So that is really cool. Yeah, at the same time, I think it's time for these to wrap up. I did like the last one, but I don't know. They're weird because I'm still of the mindset of like Mission Impossible, like the show where it's about the team. And this really is about Tom Cruise, which, it's like, okay, that's the direction it went. That's kind of anything he's in. That's usually the direction it goes. But, he literally puts his ass on the line. So it's like, I think that's cool. But yeah, I'm ready for them to start wrapping up too.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you like the big fat liar chase scene at the end of the movie?
Yes, I'm kind of remembering it in my head. I only saw it, for the review, and I think I remember it being pretty funny.
Matthew Paul, thank you for that 41-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back.
You.
Appreciate that. Jess Harnell said that he was recording the second Transformers movie. Bay could have sworn that Ironhide didn't have a British accent in the first movie. At first, people were afraid to correct him, but someone in the control room eventually awkwardly did.
That's pretty funny. That's really funny.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. In your opinion, which bad Shyamalan film squanders its potential the most? Trap springs to my mind first. I went in with some cautious optimism.
I mean, you could say Last Airbender, but at the same time, just the idea of doing a movie on the whole first season just doesn't sound like a good idea. But obviously you can see the most of like how much that was still squandered, when you see it done well on TV. Yeah, outside of that, Oh, a devil. I thought that, even though I know he technically produced it, but it's like you can tell he kind of directed it. That one I was just like, oh man, just have these people on an elevator and that's it. Like, get rid of the whole stupid devil supply.
Joel B, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on The Simpsons episode Lemon of Troy?
Uh, Boy, that sounds familiar. Hold on. Lemon of Troy. Oh, that's right. I like that one. I remember it being pretty funny. Especially I like that ending. You see that so often when somebody loses, they'll retell the story in a way that makes it look like they won. I always kind of like that trope.
Jimmy Vance, thank you for the $5 super chat. Better original story movie, Iron Man or Batman Begins? Both great first halves, just good second halves.
Um, Iron Man's a little trickier because there was already an established Batman movie that everybody loved. So you had like a little something to go off of. With Iron Man, I mean, people knew the character, but comic book movies weren't really like crazy popular yet. I think Dark Knight like maybe just came out. So there wasn't that explosion yet. And that would essentially, sort of set the way for what most of the Marvel movies were going to be, sort of the setup there. So, which I guess is kind of similar to what Batman Begins did, the more I think about it. I like Batman Begins more, but maybe I'm more impressed with how well Iron Man set that formula to be replicated over and over and over, as I guess you could call the Marvel formula.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the Futurama movie Bender's Big Score?
If that's the last one, I only remember the last one being really, really funny because I remember the other ones were just, just like a collection of sketches, kind of thing. But it is fine. But when it's a movie and it's Futurama, I want to see like a whole story. And if that's the last one, I remember that for the most part had a whole story. I remember sometimes early on it got a little sidetracked, but got back on track. I remember being pretty enjoyable.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you want a holiday film that isn't as known, there is Pocket Full of Miracles, 1961, directed by Frank Capra and starring Bette Davis and Peter Falk.
I hear that movie's good. I've never seen it. So I probably will check it out.
Ultimate Frozen fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, do you plan on doing NCs for Inspector Gadgets 1 and 2? And which movie/portrayal did you like more? For me, it was French Stewart/IG2.
I did do the first one. Yeah, that was like I think in the first 4 years we did that. So go check that out. And I did Disney December of Inspector Gadget 2. Both bad. The first one clearly worse. And in terms of like what Inspector Gadget is, I mean, I guess the second one's closer, but it's still not that authentic.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. After you play Undertale one day, you should check out the Undertale the Musical by Man on the Internet. It's 4 hours long, but it is so good.
Yeah, I've never played anything Undertale either. I don't even know what the plot of it is. Like, if you show me like a drawing or of a character, it's like I could tell you what that is, but or where it's from. But yeah, I don't know much about it.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. What's the first NC review that you were personally proud of?
Um, I don't know. It's weird. My thoughts on, I mean, I guess you could say as a, anyone that makes something or constantly makes something, my thoughts change. Sometimes, a lot of times when I'm done with something, I'm like, that's good. Okay, good job. Sometimes you don't know, and other times you're like, I don't know if this is good or not. Hopefully it is, cross your fingers, and, the internet will tell you either way. And, so it changes. I remember there was that excitement of starting off and be like, man, wouldn't it be cool if this did turn into something, if this did turn into a job? And that was just so exciting. And I was just trying to get whatever zeitgeist or whatever was popular or anything, try to get an identity. And there was just that rush of excitement of like, man, it probably was. Tell my head, this probably won't. Don't be let down if not. But there's just that excitement of what if it is? What if this does go somewhere? That's just so cool. And the same thing with like starting the fight with James Rolfe and everything. Like, it's unlikely, but man, what if it does? What if it does? So, but I'm sure if I look back now and see that stuff, I'd be like, oh, like this is, crap compared to what I'm doing now, and maybe whatever, 10 years down the line, I look back at what I'm doing now and say the same thing. So, you don't know. But then other things I thought was bad. back then could be totally fine, like maybe better than I remember it. So it changes. I don't usually put something out that I'm like, this is awful. I put it out anyway. But there are things I put out where I'm not as sure, and I'll kind of cross my fingers, hoping like, okay, hopefully this does well. So that's a long way of saying it changes.
Ultimate Frozen fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, do you plan on doing a Nostalgia Critic for Napoleon Dynamite? My family and I love / quote that movie to this day.
I get why people do, and I like it. I like it fine. I have no passion for that movie whatsoever. I think everyone has that different movie that's kind of, a pointless movie, but you just have a connection to. I mean, for me, it's Big Lebowski. For a lot of people, it's Napoleon Dynamite. And I think it's awesome. It's a fun movie, and there's funny scenes in it. It's very unique, but yeah, it just doesn't interest me. And I've seen that guy in other stuff, and I really like him. Like Blades of Glory, I think is so funny. I think he's hilarious in it. But yeah, Napoleon Dynamite just never interested me that much. I did watch it again. A lot of people say you gotta watch it again. I'm like, I believe you. I saw it. I'm like, yeah, it still doesn't do anything for me. But it's good. It's a decent movie. It's just not my thing.
Dolphin Crescent, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you know that there's a 2010 animated Titanic television series called Fantasy Island?
Yeah, there's somebody I talked about maybe doing a crossover with somewhere down the line with that show. So right now it's just finding time to watch it because I mean it's something like 10, 20 episodes, something like that. So, that'll take a bit of time. But yeah, I've done all the animated Titanic stuff. I should do that one too.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts on the Ghibli film Only Yesterday? Any chance of a review in the future?
I really like it. And there's a good dub that finally came out with Daisy Ridley. Is that her name?
Daisy Ridley?
Daisy Ridley. Yes. Okay. Daisy Ridley. There we go.
I could be 100% wrong. I said that and then I was like, wait, I don't know.
No, the Rey from Star Wars. She
Rey.
voices the main character and does a really good job. And yeah, it's a good movie. It's just a very straightforward, here's this person's life, here's what she remembers. And I like you can kind of watch at a point in your life, where you can watch it younger, you can watch it older, and there's still something it connects to. And I really, really enjoy that. For a review, probably not. Ghibli already has really tight copyright clause on their stuff.
Phil, thank you for the 50 NOK through Super Chat. How do you feel about Wes Craven's work, and have you heard about the movie They from 2002?
Maybe. I haven't seen it. And I like his stuff fine. That's another one I never got like super into. But I like when he does something a little creative that's like, I like when he's aware of his popularity and he plays around with it a little bit, but still like in a pop way, like with Scream or New Nightmare and stuff like that. So I like when he becomes a little aware. It's not like brilliant, but it's like just fun enough.
The Fifth Chris, thank you for the $10 super chat. Are you familiar with the Monkey Island point and click adventure games? Would love to see you play one on stream sometime. They were a huge part of my childhood.
Oh yeah, I played up to a little bit of 4, but I played 1, 2, and 3, and really, really enjoyed them. Yeah, never played past maybe like the first hour of 4 or something like that. I think life just got too busy. But yeah, I remember really, really enjoying them. In terms of streaming, probably not. If anything, I just remember where everything. Well, I mean, maybe not everything, but it's like I remember enough that I wouldn't be like, let's see Doug's reaction. It's like, well, I played this already, so.
JL, thank you for that 7-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
What did you think of The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, and did you feel for his character?
I never saw it. I'm sorry. I'll try to check it out at some point.
Talons, thank you for the $5 super chat. To Doug, have you ever been to Washington State? Could be wrong, but I heard you and Rob talking about once living in Bothell or Whidbey Island as kids.
Yeah, no, we lived there for 3 years and absolutely loved it. Beautiful place. We visit there every once in a while, and yeah, absolutely adore it.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Your favorite Jim J. Ross moment? Mine is from the long man skit in the commercial special where he casually front rolls onto the couch like he's Jackie Chan.
Man, oh, that's a good question. What's the best Jim J. Ross moment?
We
Boy,
did a
I
top
don't
5
know.
Disney songs with top 5, so that was just me, Ayana, and Walter, and Jim had a couple of moments where he was, like, walking across the stage with a flag, and it's hilarious. It's so, like, peak what we dubbed top 5 Jim, which is just he would just be like, "I don't get paid enough for this." Like, I don't he's so just, like, apathetic about everything.
I just whatever you give him for a performance, it isn't like, okay, I'll just do what you say. It's like I'm gonna create a character for this, but it's not like I'm trying to show off my acting. It's like, no, there should be a character for this. Got it. That's my character. Let's go. It's just he's bizarrely professional with that. At moments where I don't even need him to be that professional. That's how much professional he is. But yeah, I don't know. I hate not answering that question. For now, I'll just say Joker in the Suicide Squad. That was pretty funny, but I feel like there's a funnier one.
AOTV Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, how does Jack Black look in the Minecraft movie?
Bad. I will say this: I don't think I was quite as angry as everyone else was, but I also hadn't played the game. I'm sure if I played the game, I'd be much more angry. But yeah, it just looks like a generic nothing movie to me, and I think that's what people are really angry about.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Top 3 Chadwick Boseman, right? Roles not including my all-time favorite 3 of his Black Panther.
What was the one he was nominated for the Oscar in? I think that might be the only other movie I've seen him in, actually.
I don't remember which one.
I forget the name of the movie, but yeah, look, maybe he's been other stuff that I just didn't realize it was him. Let's see. It's just naming all this Infinity War stuff. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Yeah, that's the one. I did see him in that. He was very, very good. Yeah, obviously, I mean, I like him in as Black Panther, but I don't think I've seen any of the.
Uh-oh. No, Doug, no!
I was frozen today.
That's for Doug. Aw, chat. It's been a hot second since we've gotten a classic Doug freeze. Darn. He's frozen today. Here we are. Here we are. We lost him. Timing! Yeah, right? Maybe I should do like a timing.
I'm turning into Paddington!
Oh, he's Paddington. Wow, he's Paddington.
I didn't know how long I was out, so I'm like, oh, that's just that, I guess.
You're back. Welcome back. Chase, thank you for the $10 super chat. To clarify, I have no beef for She-Hulk per se. It's her jealous and vindictive actress that's stirring up trauma and putting people off what could have been a good character while slandering Deadpool in the process.
I did look this up. That's very clearly a joke. It's a joke she's doing for, I mean, unless I'm missing something else, but like I saw the tweet sheet and it was very clearly a troll tweet to get you to react the exact way you're reacting right now. So I mean, just don't take it too seriously. I think it was just meant to be a little joke, and yeah, maybe just take it as unless I'm missing something else, unless there's more to it. But from what I saw, I think it's just a joke.
James, thank you for the $20 super chat. I was not expecting the twist ending, and this is, just so you know, this is a joke. The twist ending to Agatha all along of her changing her last name to Cromwell and moving to the realm of Halloween Town and starting a family. This is one of the best moves Marvel has done in a while.
Well,
connected
now I
to
don't
the
have to watch
Halloween
it.
Town universe.
Thank you. You know, I'm thinking to myself, this sounds familiar, but why isn't it ringing a bell? It's like, okay, now I know what that is.
Peter Parker, thank you for the $5 super chat. What do you think of Chaplin, the Great Dictator? Not the movie, your cat, in politics. Stop him, Doug. He's a monster.
I am the future.
What up, JT?
I'm already great.
Fantastic. What up, JD? Thank you for the $10 super chat. Hiya, Doug. Did you know, after his work on Iron Giant, Brad Bird pitched his idea for The Incredibles to WB, who were looking for their next animated film. They turned it down and made Osmosis Jones instead.
Oops. Now, keep in mind, let's say they did go with The Incredibles. We have no idea what they would have done with the movie. They could have made it better, they could have made it worse, like, we don't know. But anytime you hear, this person turned down this pitch, it's like, Sure, and the same director and everything, but you don't know what the producers or the studio are gonna do. It could have been something very different.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact, today in the news I saw that here in the UK, Return of the Jedi is
was
being
frozen
upgraded from a
today.
U, which is our equivalent of a G, to PG. The reason, Han frozen in the carbonite. Oddly specific criteria.
Is Empire given that same? Because it happens there. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Odd.
Like a person is literally thrown off a cliff, but a person is frozen in this fictional stuff. That's very bizarre.
Monty Dude, thank you for the 22-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
Ew.
List of games you should play on Twitch. The Psychonaut series was hoping they would be in the last few game polls. Ghostbusters, the video game remastered, Ghostwire Tokyo, and Astro's Playroom, which you already have. Can find it in your games library and the new game Astrobot.
I played one of the Psychonaut games. I played the VR one because I was just obsessed with VR for a while, and it was fun. I wouldn't mind checking out more of it. Yeah, some of those we'll look into. Might be something there.
Sawesomeness, thank you for the $5 super chats. I love your vids, Douglas. How would you rank the Shyamalan's movies you've seen from best to worst?
Oh man, there's way too many. I mean, I think it's clear Sixth Sense is the best one. And then what's the worst one? It's what I'd have to say something that's like really boring. Because even when his stuff is bad, it's really entertainingly bad. So maybe Last Airbender, because as much as you can rip it apart and kind of laugh at the things that don't work compared to the show, it really is just mostly boring. And it's a bad adaptation. So I guess I'll say that one.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Author William Joyce was involved in both of these movies. I know you're not crazy about either, but if you had to choose, would you rather watch Robots or Meet the Robinsons?
Man, that's rough. Maybe read. That's rough. Maybe Meet the Robinsons just because there's a lot of weird stuff going on. I feel like there's probably weird stuff in the background too. Like Robots is probably a better movie, but Meet the Robinsons, I think, just to kind of look at all the weird things going on in the foreground, the background, everything, and just wondering the mindset behind it would be kind of interesting.
Dolphin Crescent, thank you for the $10 super chat. Are you going to review the Minecraft movie, the animated Titanic 2010 series, Fantasy Island?
Is that all one thing, or is that two separate things?
I'm
That's
assuming it's two separate
right?
things, but they put them all together.
Gotcha. Minecraft I'll do, definitely. It'd be silly not to, even if I know nothing about the game. At some point I'll do the Titanic show. Let's just call it is the Titanic show. Like I said, I've been talking with somebody about doing a crossover at some point, so that'll probably be sometime next year. Hopefully.
Invader Zim, thank you for the 500 bits. Saw Arcane, I absolutely loved it, and there isn't any spoilers here, so don't worry about it. I just a little nitpick though. I thought Jinx could have quipped more, like been quippier. It felt like they couldn't decide whether to make her a silent stalker or like Joker, Agent of Chaos. Though I do love her character overall.
Yeah, I'm 2 episodes in. I think there's only 3 out right now,
Correct.
right?
There's only 3 out.
Okay, yeah. So, what I like, or what I've seen, I like so far. So, yeah, can't. No notes.
Ice Luigi Star Pictures, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug, in case you haven't heard, the Polar Express movie recently turned 20. Do you think the animation has aged well despite what some people say about it?
Yes and no. It was very ambitious. There are things that hold up about it very well, but I mean, anyone can see what doesn't hold up about it well. And I do think that's one of the reasons why I do like hand drawn a lot more, because you can just, if it doesn't look good, then it's not going to look good years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where with CG, it can look really good at the time, but then years later, like, oh, that looks really bad. But that's one of the reasons I do like hand drawn a little bit more. But that doesn't mean it's bad animation. There's a lot of things about that are gorgeous and beautiful. But yeah, the uncanny valley, as everybody pointed out, is very strong with that film.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Favorite scene from Peter Pan Goes Wrong?
I think in the opening, when the dog is supposed to bring the paper and he gets stuck in the door, so he just puts the paper on one of the toy trucks and pushes it forward.
Peter Parkers, thank you for the $10 super chat. Not sure if this is true, but I saw Macaulay Culkin was cast in Fallout Season 2, and it'd be really fun to see him as a crazy overseer of a vault filled with deadly traps. What are your thoughts?
Oh, that'd be funny. I did hear that. I heard he was it's gonna be somewhere in the new Fallout show. So I mean it would be on the nose, but
Also
I'm not gonna act like
hilarious.
yeah, I'm not gonna act like it wouldn't be funny.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your all-time favorite Muppet, not Muppet moment? My brain was trying to read the word movie and my mouth was like, that's not what that word is, Heather. What's your all-time favorite Muppet moment? Could be from any of the movies, TV shows, whatever.
Oh man. I don't know. I really like the Gonzo song, I'm going back there someday. Because you don't know what it's really about. I mean, in the movie, it's just about him flying some balloons and going, wow, and that's it. And he sings this like beautiful song about it. But like the lyrics are so specific and not specific at the same time. So you can kind of interpret it different ways. I always interpret it as everything when you're not alive. You know what I mean? Like before you're alive, after you're alive, maybe stuff in between. I don't know. I love interpreting it that way. I think it's just a beautiful song too. So, but yeah, if you're going by comedy, I like when they look at the fork in the road and Kermit just says, I don't believe that. That made me laugh.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you have any plans to play the Back to the Future game?
No plans, but I guess if it's something where enough people say play the game, maybe I'll take a look at.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I think that Spider-Man 3 really got the alien costume wrong. I know I said this before, but I hate that it was so rushed, but I think the Spider-Man 3 editors cut, which you should check out, fixes some of it.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that was out there. I'll try to check it out.
Dolphin Crescent, thank you for the $10 super chat. Can you please do the finishing line British PSA for the next commercials?
The finishing line. I don't know if I know that one, huh?
It's a British PSA, the finishing line.
Line British PSA. Oh, okay, it didn't pop up on. I mean, it is on Google, but I want video. Dang it. Yeah, I don't know this one. Man, there's a lot of them. I'll try to check them out.
Illuminated Pro, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts on these films from actor Patrick Fugit? Sorry. White Oleander, we don't have time for all of these, I'll just say this right now. White Oleander Saved, Almost Famous, and Wrist Cutters, A Love Story, thanks.
Well, it's good because I've only seen one of them saved. I might being all right.
Peter Parkers, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's the funniest joke that you've ever heard from a bad comedy?
Man, I don't know. It's one of those where you always see, because in most comedies, I feel like I'm pretty optimistic when it comes to comedies and finding something that could be funny in there. Man, I don't know. I'm blanking. I know there's been tons of bad comedies that have had at least like one good joke in it or something, but oh, I don't know, because I think this is the first time I made this joke in the Power Rangers movie, which is not intentionally a comedy, but I love when the bad guy is saying all the things he missed, all the terrible things when he was asleep, and one of them was the Brady Bunch reunion. That's just so stupid. I love it.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you ever watch the Monty Python live farewell show back in 2014?
Yeah, I remember anytime they do like a get together. I mean, honestly, any of those people talking, they're very interesting to listen to. So you give them in a group as well, and yeah, no, it's always really really cool.
AOTV Productions, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug, most people are divided about Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. How do you feel?
I gotta wait and see. On the one hand, I agree. It kind of mixes things up. It kind of makes it weird and exciting again. Because Marvel's been, they've been experimenting, which I like, but it's also been bizarrely kind of safe at the same time. They've been experimenting, but they still have that formula to fall back on. And this could go either way. This could be something that's just so weird and how is he Doom? That makes no sense. Or it could be so formulaic because, hey, it's just Robert Downey Jr. again. So I have to wait and see. I could kind of see it going either direction. I just gotta wait and see what they do with it.
Chris G, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you thought of reviewing The Muppets Wizard of Oz? It'd be perfect to do with both the Muppets 70th anniversary and the Wicked film coming up.
I'm definitely not gonna do it this year. I've talked about maybe like one of the upcoming Disney Decembers. Maybe the theme will be the Muppets because I think Disney owns them, or at least did for a short bit of time. So maybe I'll cover that at that point.
Dave's Dragon, thank you for the $5 super chat. I enjoyed the Child's Play crossover with you and Phalis.
Thank you. It enjoyed you.
Joel B, thank you for the 500 bits. In Sing 2, what do you think of Bono as Clay Calloway? I honestly had no idea it was him until he started singing.
Uh, Good. I mean, the whole movie is fine. I'll say this: it was surprisingly more of a spectacle than I expected it to be. You don't think an Illumination Sing movie is going to be a spectacle, but it kind of was. It was visually actually dazzling in some respects. It really took advantage of the IMAX ratio.
Hyper Devil Fangirl Boner, thank you for the 500 bits. I saw a comment somewhere online asking if having Hyper Fangirl and Devil Boner getting married on NC meant that Doug and Tamara are also married in real life. Someone replies, she's with Doug's brother, not Doug himself, you idiot.
Cool. She's not with Rob. She's with Rob. Oh my
Love
God.
Rob. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which version of Spider-Man do you think the going from friends to enemies trope better? Peter and Harry in the game or Peter and Eddie in Spectacular Spider-Man?
Man, that's rough. Maybe Peter and Harry in the game because you could go just a little darker, a little meaner with it, so the stakes feel a little higher. But it's done well in both of them.
Adriana, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is a question for both of you. Who are your favorite South Park characters, and would you ever consider playing either the South Park video games The Stick of Truth or the Fractured But Whole?
I love to. I've only played a little bit of them, but I really enjoyed them. And probably Butters. I don't know. There's something about like I love he wants to be a super villain, but he's also not that good at it. But he's just such a meek little guy, just talking down here a little bit. Oh, I don't know if the Simpsons did it. I don't know. Like I don't know. I love that character.
I've only seen 2 episodes. I don't have a favorite character. Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you want a better Borderlands, I'd recommend playing either Borderlands 2 or Tales from the Borderlands. I swear Handsome Jack will make you laugh.
Maybe someday I'll play one of these games. I mean, when I was reviewing the movie, I did have a lot of people saying it actually is a pretty good game. So maybe one day.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In Terminator 2, which version do you prefer, the theatrical cut or special edition? Also, did you know Arnold was on an episode of SmackDown and sucker punched Triple H?
No, I didn't know that. And the theatrical, it's neat seeing the extended cut, but the theatrical is clearly better.
Sega Seth, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thanks for helping me through a tough week. Been a hard time for me, and Christmas is a hard time of year, and your content always helps me feel better.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm sorry you've had a rough week there, but hopefully us just acting like jackasses can help you out.
Joel B, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on the song Eye of the Tiger? It's my #1 workout song.
Oh, yeah. Especially when I box, man. How can you not have that in the Rocky theme? I mean, just the whole Rocky soundtrack. Yeah, I like it. I mean, you could easily point to it being corny or whatever, but yeah, I really enjoy it. And my favorite thing is a while before, people could just look up on their phones and stuff. I'd always say, okay, if I'm singing the song, I say, and the last known survivor. And I'm like, what's the next lyric? And every person I knew couldn't get it. They didn't know what the lyric was. I thought that was so funny that everyone, it's like in the chorus, everybody sings a song, but they didn't know what that one lyric was. See if you can guess it without looking it up.
Oh, I won't be able to. Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Sorry if this is personal. I remember you said in a past stream that you're still friends with Jason Laws. Why hasn't he been in any videos for a while?
Oh, so we're still friends, but we live a little bit of a ways away, so we still meet up for parties and get-togethers and stuff like that, but it's not something where we go out and hang a lot. But I still see him and his family all the time. We just did the Halloween party I was talking about, where I dressed up like Daniel the Demon Slayer. That was his Halloween party. So yeah, I just haven't had a need for him in a video, but and part of it is because we're still shooting at home, but we do have a new studio and I'm excited to get back in there, man. So yeah, hopefully that'll open up more stuff to do with the cast.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank these Pixar sequels? Toy Story 2, Finding Dory, Incredibles 2, Inside Out 2.
Oh man, Inside Out 2, Toy Story 2, Incredibles 2, Finding Dory 2.
Joel B, thank you for the 500 bits. And Arcane, what do you think of Silco? Also, have you checked out the new season yet?
Yeah, I haven't seen the third one, but but I've seen the first two episodes and I really like it. Oh, he's a great baddie. Yeah,
Hmm.
he looks cool. He's got a great voice. He's got a good evil plan. He's very manipulative. Yeah, love him.
Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. During the early days of the Nostalgia Critic, you did a nonverbal review of a movie called The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin. One of the big complaints was that the adults were so oblivious to his evil nature. Have your thoughts on the movie changed?
I haven't seen it since that review, but probably not. I mean, again, I play it up more for laughs. I mean, it doesn't make me angry, but it would have been interesting to see him play like a real evil little kid, not like a Hollywood evil kid. Because Elijah Wood was just doing so well as like, just the everyday normal kid, already suffered a loss and everything. So it'd be interesting to see him play a legit disturbed kid, not like a super villain, kind of thing.
Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. During your Sam Raimi Spider-Man review, one complaint you had was how ugly the CGI was. How do you feel knowing that it was nominated for an Academy Award alongside Attack of the Clones and The Two Towers, which of course that film would go on to win?
Yeah, Two Towers, a little better. It's weird because there's some moments where it's fine, but I don't know. I don't know if Sony went back and said, "Hey, you have to change this" or whatever. Or maybe just Raimi wasn't used to doing CG at that point. I don't know. Because all his effects were practical. Yeah, no, it still looks pretty bad to me. I don't know. Especially, I mean, now you see how far like Spider-Man effects have come. They've gotten so much better. So yeah, it still looks kind of lame to me.
Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. Speaking of The Exorcist, what do you think of the original? Do you think it deserves to be called one of the great horror films? Also, the scene where Reagan is stabbing herself with the cross is ironically one of the funniest things that I've ever seen.
Boy, not the screening I went to. Well, so it is fine. I do think it's one of the great horror films. I like at least top five. I did change a lot, and it did really question what can you show in a horror film, what's taboo, what's off limits, and what isn't. Especially for a mainstream horror film. But yeah, it's funny because when they re-released it, they showed the extended cut, which is still not the better cut, but there's some interesting stuff. And there were people laughing at, like the kid swearing and stuff like that. And, oh, she said that. Oh my God, you can't. And I kind of get that. Back then it was so shocking and now it's a little funny. But as soon as that scene plays, everyone just, like, they shut up when they get to that scene. And then from that scene on, the rest of the movie, they're just like that. So no, it's funny you said, oh yeah, that seems funny because like most people, that's kind of what sobers them up.
Seth, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the new updates for the reboot of King of the Hill, specifically the adult Bobby? If so, what are y'all's thoughts?
I'm excited. Well, because we do like watching that show, and when we don't know what to watch, that's a nice show to put on. It always makes us laugh. We love those characters. I get a feeling because we are so divided, people are really one of two things is going to happen. Either it is going to really, really, go divided, which I don't think it's going to. Mike Judge is usually pretty good. They did that when Beavis and Butthead were brought back. I thought he played it very smart. But if you look back at those original episodes, there were times where if you played that now, people would be like, oh, it's leaning too hard this side or whatever. And it's like, but it was always there because Hank's a very defined good character and the family are very well defined and interesting characters. So I get the feeling if they take that exact same angle, which they probably are, there's going to be people complaining that's having too much of a lean in either direction. And I don't think that's going to be the case. I really advise people to watch the show again. It's a good show, but watch it again before you watch the new season and then kind of draw your conclusions because I can just already predict that's going to happen.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. One duck you guys forgot about is Wild Wing from the animated Mighty Duck Show.
Well, if I remembered what I saw about it, maybe I would mention that.
Are Arsenic Popcorn, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Just signed up to Twitch to chime in. Well, welcome. Still love watching your stuff on YouTube. Need to ask, since I think you might know, what happened to that sci-fi guy? Is he buried in your basement?
No, he crawled out at the end of Debo Leafly. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
AOTV Productions, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, have you ever seen the animated Kangaroo Jack sequel? Most people say it's superior to the first.
I mean, how big of a challenge is that? But no, I have not.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. The Santa Claus one is still the best Santa Claus movie because it had Peter Boyle in it.
Odd way of judging those, but okay. Yeah, I never got into those movies too much. I got into parts of the second one. I actually thought the romance in the second one was kind of sweet, but yeah, I just never ever got into them. The third one's kind of so bad it's enjoyable, but yeah, just not my thing.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Where the Wild Things Are, when Carol shows up to see Max off, do you think they just share a look, or do you think that should have said something?
I mean, so much of that movie is just interpreting why this kid has come up with these characters, why these looks are being given to him, what they, you know, what one thing these characters can represent, or what many things they can represent, how many people, just one person, or just emotions, you know, just created. And that's what I love about that film, is that you can read so much into it. No, I'm one of those people where I'm just like, I really wouldn't, I mean, top of my head, I can't think of anything I would change in that movie. I really, really love the way they handled it.
Treg Grider, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, Doug. Since you were an illustrator at one point, I have to ask, who are your favorite cartoonists and which ones inspired... Oh, sorry, it got clicked away for a second. Which ones inspired you the most? Are there any cartoonists whose work you recommend people should check out?
Chuck Jones, a big fan. I mean, I'll say Tim Burton. His style really did inspire me. He was obviously an artist before becoming a director. Bill Watterson's work I really love. I mean, also pretty good.
Retro.
Ralph Steadman. I don't know if you call him a cartoonist, but he's a very unique artist.
Retro Schmo, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, what are your thoughts on TV's The Goldbergs? Did you know Adam was played by the person who played Ron Stoppable in the Kim Possible movie?
Yeah, I felt bad because I was saying that he did a really good impression of Ron Stoppable, and some people were saying, actually, that's just his voice. I'm like, oh, sorry. No, I haven't seen the show. I keep hearing it's like a good send up to the 80s, but every time I've seen like little clips here and there, like, I don't know, it didn't seem bad. I guess I wasn't following what it was. So one day I got to sit down and just watch it from the beginning and see what this show is, because I have heard people say good things about it.
Joel B, thank you for the 500 bits. In the Simpsons movie, what do you think of the relationship between Bart and Flanders? I gotta be honest, the scene where Flanders pats him on the back and Bart asks him to pat him one more time gets me misty-eyed.
I can see that. It's all right. I mean, it just feels like, I feel like I've seen more sentimental moments in the show. Maybe because they were focused a little bit more on the comedy in the movie. It was already kind of a different style at that point. But I feel like those first few seasons, maybe up to like 3, maybe even 4, when they had an emotional moment, they would really go for broke, and they would really let them play out. And there's 1 or 2 moments like that. I like Marge's video, and that's like the highlight. But yeah, I would have liked to maybe they played that out a little bit more, but it wasn't bad. It was decent.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, I'm curious to know, what are your 3 least favorite Pokemon from the original 150? Probably some of the in-between evolutions, like a Metapod or a Kakuna. They're useless. They do nothing. Stupid Metapods, stupid Kakunas, and then maybe Gloom. Gloom always freaked me out with the way that he looks. He's got like, I don't like Gloom.
It's such a cool name, though.
Yeah. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the Nick Frost and Simon Pegg film Paul?
No. I heard things about it. I was excited to see it when I thought it was the same people who did like, Hot Fuzz and all that. And then when I saw it wasn't, I was kind of like, oh, maybe I'll skip it. But I should probably give it a chance because I do like those two.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Apple Vision Pro? Would you use that to watch movies? Apparently, you can put yourself in the middle of a movie theater view when watching films.
I gotta look at. I'm always like the last to get on a lot of these Was it Apple Vision
Apple
Pro?
Vision Pro. Yeah.
I
That
know
is.
I've heard it. I know I've heard it, but I gotta look. Oh, okay, so it's like a VR thing. I got really into VR about 3, 4 years ago, something like that. Like I was really upset. Heather will tell you, I was telling everyone, you gotta do it,
Oh,
you gotta
yeah.
try it. Oh my god, I was really, really obsessed. Um, and but the VR I had, like they stopped making games for it, and it became obsolete. So I just kind of went to it, and then I became too busy. So I still think there's amazing things with VR. I think the 3D element is the really big angle where I'm like, whoa, that was kind of the big game changer with that. But I don't know. At some point, maybe I'll get back into it again. If y'all haven't tried it yet, though, it really is something. It's better than you think it probably is.
Spike Bebop, thank you for the $20 super chat. Have you seen Arcane Season 2? Why do you think people love the show so much?
There's so much going on. The artistry is amazing. The way they use the visual storytelling, the way the artistry shows what the characters are feeling, the different points of view, the style changes,
The
the
music?
complex story, the music, the backgrounds, the world building. I mean, it is just a great. As someone who has never played any of those games, I got sucked in pretty quick. So yeah, I mean, as you can tell, I represent right now. So yeah, and I've only seen the first 2 episodes. I haven't seen the third one, and I didn't know the rest of it's dropping soon. So I'm really excited for that.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Supernatural had 15 seasons and a total of 347 episodes in total, more than Smallville.
Good to know.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In Step Brothers, what do you think of the sleepwalking scene when the brothers would walk in their sleep and put pillows in the oven and mom purse in the refrigerator?
I don't remember it. I remember like 2 things from that movie. I really didn't get into that movie, and there are some Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly movies I really get into, but that one just did nothing for me. And I know it's got like a big following, but just I don't know. I didn't follow that one. Maybe I gotta see it again. I did only see it once.
Andrew, thank you for the $2 super chat. Fire Tower, thank you for the $5 super chat. I just watched your review, Borderlands, and I never watched the movie, just played the game, and my gosh, is so bad. How did you watch this garbage?
I mean, getting paid for it helps.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. The very first time I watched The Cat Returns, I fell in love with it, but I need to take a break with how many times I ended up watching it while being homebound.
Oh, okay. But now did you see the prequel? It's about the writer who wrote the story. It's very, very good. What's it called? Something of the Heart. Whispers of the Heart?
Whispers
Yeah,
of the
Whispers of the Heart. It's very, very good. Very different. It's not a fantasy or anything, but it's very, very good.
Forward Smash, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, I'm so glad you enjoyed the Lilo and Stitch TV show. Curious, what were some of your favorite experiments that the series that stood out?
I mean, I think my favorite is Ruben. I think you get Rob Paulson just doing his, Raphael voice. I'm gonna love that. His kind of snarky voice. I don't think Hamsterville is one of the experiments, but he was very funny. I remember there's a Bobcat Goldthwait one that was kind of funny. God, there are so many. I don't know. Those are the ones that are jumping to mind.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which climax in Toy Story do you like more? Chasing the moving truck in the first one, or the airport and airplane in the second one?
The airport, the airplane. I thought ever since I was a kid, I always wondered where the luggage goes when you put it on the track there. So I think the toys going in there and you see all the different rails and everything going everywhere. That was a lot of fun. It was very creative too.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I get why you don't like Signs, because in the first few minutes, it also feels like a found footage movie.
That was the least of my problems with it.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you still own a VCR? I still own one because I can show my future children the original Star Wars trilogy without any of the Lucas changes.
I thought I did, and then when I went searching, I couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh.
And I did have a way to convert video to digital here, but I need the VCR, and now I don't. So now I really do have to use some of the sponsors that we have. So I have been sending stuff there.
Sawesomeness, thank you for the $5 super chat. I saw Kiki's Delivery Service for the first time at a Fathom event. Oh my god, that movie is the best anime, second to Wolf Children.
Yeah, I gotta see on the big screen. They show it like every year, and I just always forget to look it up and because that's the one I really want to see the most on the big screen. Because all the other ones I've wanted to see on the big screen I have, and that's the one where I'm like, I gotta see this.
Invader Zim, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug or Heather, what are your favorite heroes, not superheroes, your favorite heroes in movies and Sorry, gosh, why can't I read today? I'm gonna start this one over. What are your favorite heroes in movies, TV, and video games? Planning to start a video analyzing them. P.S. It doesn't have to be superheroes.
Uh, a while ago, I did a video on like my favorite characters, and I forget if I had these in the same. They might have shared the same number one spot, but I love Atticus Finch, and I love Margie from Fargo. That's one of those, those, what would Jesus do sayings and stuff like that. That's always like, well, what would Atticus do? What would Margie do? And I never follow them, but it's still one of those things where it's like, man, if you want just like a good ethical center, just like keep asking yourself that, because I think those characters are really wonderful for almost completely different reasons.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. It's really a shame Iron Man didn't get to meet Toby's Spider-Man since what happened at Endgame. If the end ended differently, would have been a fun interaction in those two if that could have happened.
Like Maguire Spider-Man? Is that what they're talking about?
Yes,
The Garfield
Toby's
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Okay. Oh, Toby. Sorry, I was confusing. I was confusing
Tom
my
Holland.
TO names. Tom and Toby. Yeah, the TOs throw me off. Yeah, I guess so.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Possible Disney December of the 2003 direct-to-video sequel George of the Jungle 2.
Maybe I haven't seen it. I keep forgetting it existed. In fact, I forgot it existed until you brought that up. So maybe might be a possibility.
Frank, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the movie Oppenheimer?
Oh, I love it. And I'm saying this guy called Cosmonaut Variety Hour. He has a phrase I really like, a term. Was a professional Christopher Nolan naysayer, and I like that because he likes Christopher Nolan, but he's like, he really nitpicks him a lot. And so do I. There's something about how clinical his movies can be, to a fault, to a point where they're almost like too mathematical. It's like, all right, just be a movie for a minute. For like you're losing the humanity here. I thought that one was a perfect way to combine, humanity and math. I mean, literal math, and what it means and what it will result in, what it has resulted in. I found all that really, really fascinating. That's probably his best work, in my opinion.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Toy Story 3, there's a little touch I like. Before Woody leaves Sunnyside, Buzz offers him a handshake, but Woody angrily refuses to shake his hand. Then the incinerator scene, when they accept their fate, Buzz again offers Woody his hand, and then this time he takes it.
Oh, I never thought about that. It's a good point. I never realized that. Good pickup.
Nalistics, thank you for the 100 ARS through Super Chats. Hi, Heather and Doug. I know people recommend lots and lots of games to play, but Doug, are you curious to try Silent Hill 2 Remake? Narratively speaking, you'll love the heck out of that game.
Sure. I think I played like one, I think it was Silent Hill. There's one I played with James Rolfe on one of those James and Mike things. And I just remember we couldn't get anywhere because I think it was like a PlayStation 1. It was like the first game, and so I was just like, to these games, but I kept hearing they get better and better. So when I hear Silent Hill 2, I'm like, oh, is that still like the same graphics or camera setup as the first one? I guess they're not.
No, the remake literally just came out this year, like a month ago.
Yeah, so I was that one of the ones we had listed?
It was on the poll.
Yeah, so when we do a vote again, we'll probably put that up there at some point.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. I know you probably have a full convention schedule, but are you ever going to SawCon?
I don't know what that one is.
SAW, SawCon.
I mean, it's very easy to remember, isn't it? SawCon. It is in. Is this an actual convention? I see. No, your meme pops up a lot.
Well, I don't know.
SawCon. Made intention to inquire about them. I don't think it's a thing. I think this is intentional. I think I got had. Okay, but maybe not. Maybe I could be missing it.
Oh, thank you, Blake the Nothing. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite Ernest Borgnine? You just said it. Performance. For me, it's definitely Marty. I'm glad he won an Oscar for it.
Which one? I'm sorry.
Ernest
Borgnine.
Borgnine. What is it?
Yeah, you said Ernest Borgnine. What's my favorite performance of his?
Correct.
I don't know. It's another one where I feel like I've only seen kind of the goofier side. I know I've seen him do drama and he's good, but I'm blanking on, like, I don't think I've ever seen like a great performance from him. And that's not saying he hasn't given them. I just haven't seen them. So yeah, I got to catch up his material.
I'm just shaking my head because the payoff has now happened for the Saw con. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Would you ever stream Super Mario Bros. 3 for a Friday night gameplay?
Uh, maybe. I mean, a lot of that's what we used to. Rob and I used to do like old retro gaming when we started this, and I don't know how many people got into it. Like they're fun. We love playing those games, but I don't know how many people were like, "Ooh, let's watch." What these guys grew up with, and we've played a million times already.
Vincent, thank you for the $7 super chat. Hey, Doug, I've been watching your videos alongside AVGN since 2010. Do you remember when you first met James Rolfe?
Yeah. So we already talked a couple times before we met up. In terms of doing like this fake battle. I always say that's when internet rivalries were intentionally funny. And when I got there, he actually came out in the nerd outfit. He's like, "Just so you know, this is not what I wear in real life." He's like, "I'm shooting a video." It's like, "Oh,
That's
okay."
funny.
I don't know. At that point, I think I saw 1 or 2 videos of him out of character, and he's exactly what I thought he would be. He's really laid back, really nice, and just likes talking movies. Just chatting, just a general laid back, nice dude. Yeah, and he did disappoint. That's really what I thought he was, and that really is who he is.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. There's something I really like about the ghost in Molly McGee. I like that the parents know about the ghosts. Any other show would have Molly keeping the ghosts a secret from them, but it's a really good subversion.
Yeah, that's a good point. They still have the ghost secret from everyone else, but but they have some fun things with that too. Yeah, no, it's a good point.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In the first Jurassic Park movie, best scene, worst scene.
Uh, I mean, best scene just has to be that first the T-Rex coming out was unbelievable. If not that, then the final appearance of the T-Rex. Just anything with the T-Rex, I think. Worst scene? I don't know. There's got to be some corny moments, like I don't know, with the kids or something like that. Some of Ian Malcolm's arguments I thought were a little weak. In the original review I did, I went more into the argument he's having at the table. He does make some good points, but then there's others where I'm like, wait a minute, we could easily poke holes in that. That's not. And then in Lost World he can poke even more holes in them. So maybe that's the weakest. I don't know.
Firstborn, thank you for the $5 super chat. Honora equals one of the year's best. The premise is already the anti-pretty woman, which you didn't like, and I only made it through 30 minutes, not hate.
I mean, it looked good from what I saw. The trailer. Yeah, I'm hearing good buzz about it, which is pretty cool. But I just like hearing anti-pretty woman. I gotta say, I don't hate Pretty Woman. It's just not for me.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Please give us a pound or we'll have to pull the trigger. Oh my god, PSA commercial.
We got there's one for kitties too. You gotta lick it. You gotta lick the gun. Yeah, lick the gun. Okay, he's adorable.
He's so cute. Oh, sorry, I lost something. There it is. Sam, thank you for the $5 super chat. As a Borderlands fan since my childhood, the Borderlands film physically hurt me. Is there any chance of playing the game on stream?
Maybe. We can put that down as one of the. I don't think we had that down before, so I'll put it down as an option.
Stead, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, are there any decent Disney live action remakes, or is it all one big losing streak?
There's some I go back and forth on. I lean towards negative just so I can say there's no good ones. But Cruella was pretty close, and then Pete's Dragon is pretty close. And a lot of them have moments, in there, but for the most part, they're usually pretty bad.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. An NC review of Dexter's Laboratory.
I didn't grow up with it. I saw a little bit and I liked it, but I think if somebody's going to review that, especially now, you have to really know like the impact that show had and that whole cartoon setup there with like Powerpuff Girls and all that. And I didn't really grow up with that. So yeah, I feel like you got to talk to someone that was around the right age for that, because I saw it, I liked it, but I'm not gonna be able to really say like what it means to a lot of people.
Potato Head fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. When I saw the remake Beauty and the Beast in theaters, I was so angry. I went home and put on the classic VHS version. Also, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, back at you. And Yeah, we were surprised when we saw it was getting good reviews and people were liking it and everything. Like, we were kind of looking at each other afterwards, like, I'm not crazy, right? That was bad. That was a bad, bad movie.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Which performance do you enjoy more, even though they're both fantastic? Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas or Joaquin Phoenix in Joker?
Man, that's rough. I think I gotta go Nicolas Cage. That's a much. So with Joker, you're going from something very real to the fantastical, to a comic book character, literally. Even though a lot of it's still kind of in reality, where Nicolas Cage has to play something that's very, very real and very, very sad, and Joker taps into that, but like Nicolas Cage has to like show that the whole way through. If I remember, it never quite goes into the fantastical element. So I guess I'll say that, but it's rough. It's really, really close.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. The final twist of Agatha All Along went through a few rough drafts. One was that she went on to become the Trunchbull from Matilda. The other was she somehow was also the witch from Paranorman.
I gotta get to the end of this, man. I gotta see what this is about.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What's one of your favorite Zoidberg getting picked on moments? Mine is when in the movie Bender's Big Game, where he makes a good point about something and then Bender yells, "Shut up, Zoidberg," but then says, "He's right." I love how he agrees with him, but still wanted to tell him to shut up.
I like in the Wizard of Oz parody, I think he's like the cowardly lion, and the flying monkeys pick up everybody except him. He said, "What do I smell or something?" And then you cut to the Wicked Witch's palace. There's all the characters. There's Dorothy. Everybody. It's like, why have you brought us here? And then you pan out and you see Zoidberg. It just says, "And why did I have to take a cab?" That was really great.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Plans to do an NC review of 2000 Snow Day, originally planned to be a Pete and Pete movie before being reworked as a standalone, or Good Burger 2.
People have asked me to do Snow Day. I might do that at some point. I've never seen it, but it must have a following at this point. I feel like, let me put that down because I don't know if I actually wrote that down.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. In Groundhog Day, I think my favorite scene was the repeating dating scene between, dating scene maybe? Because he kept screwing up what he was going to say to Rita.
I like the scene where he keeps seeing, what does he call him, Needlehead or whatever. At one point, he just punches him. That really gets me.
Frank Altman, thank you for the $5 super chat. What is one movie or TV moment that is guaranteed to bring you to tears? For me, it's the Futurama episode Jurassic Park. I mean, that's heart-wrenching. That episode is so good, but yeah, no, I cry every time. Every time.
There's a couple. I did a list long time ago because there's not because I'm just too manly. But no, honestly, there's really not like a ton that usually gets me to, really legit get tears. I can get sad, but in terms of like really get tears, there's not a ton. The ending of Fearless gets me there. The death of a certain character in Wolf's Rain gets me there. Man, I'm trying. I know there's others. I'm just blanking on it at some point for some reason. I don't know, those are good enough, I guess.
I've been crying in theaters since I saw my very first movie in theaters, which was Lion King. So, Mufasa died and I cried. And I haven't looked back since.
Well, that just, that's the first movie I ever saw. Maybe I was just like, okay, so this is just the movie experience. I'm just always supposed to cry.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the movies When Harry Met Sally in the Apartment?
Apartment's great. That's a very good movie. Harry Met Sally is also good. I always heard about it. I saw it years later, and it was more mature than I thought it would be. I did think it would be a little bit more gimmicky, and there's some gimmicky moments, but I really do like they were talking about certain issues, like relationships and depression and stuff like that, at a time where they really weren't talking about that, and with these two kind of big stars that wouldn't normally talk about that kind of stuff. So it was interesting. It's a surprisingly legit good movie, even though it can be corny at times.
There's more questions here than I thought, so we are going to have to pick it up a little bit.
Gotcha.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, could you do the dance from Deadpool and Wolverine?
I don't remember the dance. I remember the ha! I went through the explosion, so that's the best I can do.
Alex Gabriel, thank you for the $5 super chat. You like talking about older animated movies that traumatized kids. Did you happen to have an opinion on the infamous animated cat film Felidae?
I haven't finished it. Yeah, I started it because I got recommendations, but yeah, it definitely doesn't look like a family film to me.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 500 bits. Michael Arden, who plays Quasimodo in the Hunchback musical, directed a stage play version of A Christmas Carol where one actor, Jefferson Mays, plays every single character. The Pro Shot is available to stream, and I think you'd really like it.
I might check that out.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Is the commercial special next week? Usually it's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Great. Count Drake, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, I recommend if you haven't done so to play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 and Star Wars The Old Republic.
I think we got those on one of the lists
We
for
do.
like a Disney December or something. Yeah, so it's on there.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. For charity shout out at some point, could you please do Veterans Inc., nonprofit my dad runs here in New England? My dad's birthday is today in real life.
See if you can get on Cameo. If the charity's on Cameo, I can do that because I just have it go straight there. But I'll write it down. Veterans Inc.
BK Batman, thank you for the $2 super chat. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, episodes for South Park. Dickie Burns when Cartman opens a hot dog, the pandemic special, because it's funny, and the episode where Cartman is in a coma for the Oculus headset. Okay.
So get on it.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. I know it was everywhere and Shrek really solidified it, but what are your honest thoughts on Smash Mouth and particularly All-Star?
All-Star's fine. It was overplayed, but I never got that into him. I don't dislike him, but I never got that into him.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat, plans to do NC review of the rest of the Disney animated canon too. 62 movies total, 63 with Moana 2.
I don't know if I can get through all of those, but I do at least want to get through like the Disney Renaissance, so I'll get through those at some point.
BK Batman, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you play Batman Arkham Knight?
No, I've only played the first 2 games. I'll get to it at some point.
Peter Parker, thank you for the $5 super chat. What is a streaming only movie you would do an NC review of in a heartbeat if you could?
Man, I don't know. I don't know. Death Note, maybe? I don't know.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. What makes most belligerent sexual tension relationships in fiction so effective to me? The contrast and progression from hate to love because it can be so impactful.
That was just declaring it, right? That wasn't a question, right?
Correct.
Okay, good to know.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Where's the love for Duckman?
Love Duckman. When they're talking about ducks earlier. Yeah, good point.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, I know you didn't watch too many of the Big Bang Theory episodes, but you should watch some of the episodes when they go to comic book stores and Will Wheaton episodes.
I did hear some funny Will Wheaton stuff apparently in the shows. I'll have to check that out.
Arsenic Popcorn, thank you for the 500 bits. I still haven't forgotten, Doug, about when you sullied the good name of Mako.
Well, at least we're saying the name right now. I always said Mako. It was Mako.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Plans for a Karate Kid month since you still got 4 other movies to do reviews for besides the 4th one, or you want to wait till Legends makes 5?
And maybe wait for them all to come out. That's probably a good idea.
Dibble is gold, thank you for the 500 bits. Any decisions made from looking at your cat that made in... Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I understand this question. Any decisions made from looking at your cat that made into the videos?
Well, a lot of times I'll just follow them around with the camera, and I don't always know what they're gonna say. So it kind of depends on the footage I get. So yeah, a lot.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. The first thing I watched when being homebound started for me, I watched Whispers of the Heart.
Oh, there you go. You know how good it is.
The Dotard, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, have you been to Boston and list some of your favorite films set in Massachusetts, Boston, New England?
Yes, I remember really liking it. In terms of best film set there, I don't know. It's a ton set there. I'm not sure.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the final Lilo and Stitch movie, did you like that Gantu became a good guy?
Yeah, because I like that character, and it's nice seeing him get a little bit of a not resurgence. What's the word? An arc.
Gorilla Steve, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you rather have a live action Thundercats movie or a live action Gargoyles movie?
Gargoyles would be better, but I know deep down I want that Thundercats movie.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Plans for an NC of Inspector Gadget 2 at some point, especially as it's more accurate to the show. Admittedly, the 1999 movie is a guilty pleasure for me.
I did Disney December. I think I got my thoughts out there, so probably not.
Seth Lowry, thank you for the $5 super chat. Is there any movie you would consider re-reviewing? I think a good one would be Signs with Chris Stuckman. He loves the film, so it'd be fun.
I'd love to go back and do a lot of the earlier ones when we could only do like 10 minutes on YouTube and the style was different. So something like Super Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, the Ninja Turtle movies. Yeah, that's all stuff I love to do again.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Plans to do the rest of the Mission Impossible movies since you only did the second. Even if it just ends up one NC for all of them, I'll be satisfied.
I thought about that. I should probably wait since this is the final one coming out. I should probably wait for that one to come out.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you ever been in a hot pursuit? Ever fly through the air shooting 2 guns? Ever fire your gun in the air and go, ah?
You're joking, right? No, what I can't remember what he says in the movie, but Hot Fuzz reference. Just that.
Sonic Jumping, thank you for the $5 super chat. How do you feel about Jurassic World Rebirth coming out in 2025?
I mean, the rest have been so spectacular. Sure, it's going to be amazing. This one we'll see, like, the dinosaurs use a human toilet. We won't see them actually go around the city or do something we want to see the dinosaurs do. Let's just see something we don't care about. It'll be on an island far away, too.
Phil, thank you for the 50 NOK through Super Chat. How come you and Rob don't do first viewing videos as frequently as you used to?
They weren't really getting the views, so we tend to just do them for ones we think it would get a good reaction or something like we legit haven't seen or we know would be fun, like Madam Web or something like that.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. What benefits Mufasa the Lion King already is it's a new story. Also, remembering Scar's birth name was canonically Taka is a nice touch too.
Yeah, I think just the fact there's expression on their faces, that helps.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. They can fly through space but can't get through a wooden door.
Right?
Bronson, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever seen Trick or Treat 1986? And if so, would you ever consider reviewing it? It stars Mark Price, Gene Simmons, and Ozzy Osbourne have cameos in it too.
I guess I haven't. I know the one that was in, the early 2000s, I think. But no, I don't know that one.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Futurama and The Simpsons episodes was really good.
Yes.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. You want a sad animated scene? All dogs go to heaven. Charlie sacrifices himself for the girl. Makes me cry every time.
Yeah, the last little goodbye there is done pretty well.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. With other recent Disney remakes, seeing transfer to people is usually interesting enough. Lion King 2019 got no human characters, so it's a real disadvantage.
Yeah, I think I followed what you're saying there. Yeah.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the Futurama episode where Fry, Leela, Bender, the professor, and Zoidberg go back in time and end up in Roswell?
That was cute. It's kind of an idea I was already... if you read any sci-fi, you've seen before, but it was still pretty funny. I love them just leaving Bender there and they show up years later. It's like, how are you? Fine, until you showed up. That was great.
Ryan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you ever do the original The Thing from 1982 or the 2011 one?
I think YouTube would probably, yeah, because there's so much. You can't talk about the movie without showing the gore in it. It's so phenomenal. And yeah, I don't think YouTube would let us.
Hyperdevil Fangirl Boner, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on these two Futurama episodes? Reincarnation and Saturday Morning Fun Pit.
Oh, the Saturday morning ones I always love. I love when they do that. I don't think I remember Reincarnation. I'll have to check that one out again.
Chris G, thank you for the $5 super chat. Reverse card. What's a live action Disney film that you'd like to see in an animated remake of?
I don't know. Maybe like some sort of Pirates movie, something like that. Like not with Jack Sparrow, but maybe with a different pirate or like a different world, maybe more in the underworld or something. I don't know. Something with the creatures, and Davy Jones. That'd be kind of fun.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite moment of Hermes hating Zoidberg?
I don't know. It's like I'm hearing the voice just yelling at him, but I'm not remembering the lines in it. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm blanking.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the Poplars episode of Futurama and the Futurama episode Game of Tones, where Fry meets his mother? I cried during that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like the Poplars one. It does the job almost too well. I so want popcorn, shrimp, or chicken after watching it.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. I really wish they would just do a Jurassic Park reunion with the original cast talking about the first one.
I'm sure they did. Yeah, I'm sure there's like specials where they've done that. Yeah, and then the last movie tried to get them all together and worked out awesome.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 500 bits. I admit the Sonic game you're playing is pretty fun and well made, unlike that other show.
Man, that's an old reference.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. One of my comfort movies was Titan AE because that was the first movie I got on VHS. Surprised it's not on Disney Plus.
Yeah, a lot of Don Bluth stuff, isn't it? You kind of gotta wonder because he did a lot of stuff for Fox. Gotta wonder.
Okay, well, we did it though. We did end up catching
good.
up. I was a little stressed out there for a second, but we got it.
Yeah, I tried to really.
Yeah.
So okay, oh good. We got plenty of time then to answer ones that just highlighted ones or the other ones.
Yep. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. How could they do another Jurassic Park movie? Isla Nublar was destroyed.
Right. Well, I mean, how they do another book? I mean, they blow up the island at the end of that one. Well, that's always my favorite thing in Lost World when they're like, "There's another island." It's like you don't need another island. You didn't blow it up in the first one. It's still there. Just go back to the first one again.
Andrew Anderson, thank you for the $2 super chat. What do you think of Alien Romulus?
I didn't like it. There's a lot of good stuff. If you're an Alien fan, you should see it. There's a lot of good things in it, but I didn't think it quite came together. I'm gonna do a Disney December on it where I go into more detail.
Master Mario over on Twitch says, and they have been asking this for weeks, Doug, so it's very important to them. Why did your parents name you Douglas Darien? And does anyone call you Douglas?
No, I mean, they call me Doug. It's so funny because growing up, whenever, that's some kids always like to, what's your middle name? What's your middle name? And whenever I said Darien, always without fail, they repeated, Darien? I always go, yes, there's something wrong with the name. They're like, no. And then I never get anything more out of that. Like, what, is it weird? Is it I
just unusual?
No. I guess just unusual. I actually like it more than Doug. But that's the problem. I always say I hate the name Doug because I know I'm a perfect Doug. I know it's perfect for me, and I don't like that. I'm like George Costanza. Call me T-Bone or something like that, but it's like, I know that's not me. I'm a perfect Doug.
Eric Carter over on YouTube asks, Doug and Heather, what did you think of the Penguin finale? It was amazing. Best spin-off comic book show. I don't think we've either watched it.
Now I gotta sit down and watch this damn show because, like I said, I got the first 2 episodes in and everybody's like, it's really good, right? I'm like, it's fine. I don't know. But then I'm hearing like the finale, like legit is really great. I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm like catch up on enough shows here. So now I gotta catch up on this, I guess.
Matt Gamer over on Twitch says, Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard your dad is a veteran of the Navy. So from one son of a veteran to another, I'd like to salute your dad for his service this past Veterans Day.
Oh, salute your dad too, man. Thank you so much.
Jack, thank you for the $5 super chat. What was your experience working with the French YouTuber Jouer du Grenier? By the way, I learned to speak English watching your videos.
Oh, so cool.
I probably said that wrong too. It's been so long since I spoke French.
I could never say it right. He was so nice. He was so cool. A lot of energy, very positive. Yeah, I just remember him being like really, really cool, very welcoming as well. We had a great time there. It just all France when we were there, we just had an absolutely wonderful time. He played a big part because he was just so welcoming and so cool.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Gonna miss you guys this Friday, but I'm also assuming you're taking the Friday of Thanksgiving off as well, not to play a game. Well, actually, that would be an incorrect assumption.
Mm.
We're not going to be here this Friday because we're at Grand Rapids, and the Friday after, Doug's at a convention, so there's no stream. So then, as a little holiday treat, we will have one the Friday after Thanksgiving because we can't just have you start
I
Sonic
was
and then be
frozen
like, just
today.
kidding.
Yeah,
You
take
don't
3
get
weeks
any more
off. Yeah.
Sonic.
Yeah, we felt bad because we're like, well, do we move it to a different day? Do we blah, blah, blah? And big thank you to Heather because she's the one that said, I think I can pull that off. So big thank you to her.
Richard Addison, thank you for becoming a member over on YouTube. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Dibbles is gold. Thank you for the 1,000 bits. Nothing to ask. Love your content. You've been entertaining me for years.
That's okay to say. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate that. Christopher Schumacher over on YouTube asks, will you do a Nostalgia Critic review of Thanksgiving 2023?
Probably not, because again, you can't really talk about it without talking about the death sequences, and YouTube just doesn't really allow gore or almost say violence on there anymore. So yeah, probably not. Though it's a lot of fun. I really like that movie.
Blabble's Block over on Twitch says, what are your thoughts on the original Poltergeist?
I like it in the same way I like the scary scenes in Indiana Jones, if that makes sense. I remember Lucas said he always wanted to do an Indiana Jones where he goes into a haunted house. That's what that feels like. It feels like an Indiana Jones haunted house. So if you're looking for like really legit scary, I don't know if it's that, but you're looking for kind of like fun, creative, very 80s Spielberg scary, then yeah, I guess it's that.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. With Disney's number looming, Miramax, will you review the Spy Kids films?
Oh, that is Miramax, isn't it? Not this year, but maybe the following year.
Richard, thank you for the $20 super chat. Hey, y'all, great video tonight. Still think Joker Part 2 is the worst one of the year and needs a review. By the way,
Commercials! I'll get to it at some point. I have it written down. I'll be curious to see if when I watch it again, if I hate it as much as everybody else. I didn't like it, but I thought it was going to be the outlier. I thought everyone else was going to be like, oh, come on, it's fine. But people like hate it a lot more than I did.
Alejandro over on YouTube asks, have you seen any Mexican movies?
Sure, I have, though I'm completely blanking on them. Oh, there's actually as a Guillermo del Toro before he really blew up. He did a movie. What was it called? It's about this boy who's like it's not like a haunted orphanage, but something like that. Oh, The Devil's Backbone, I think is what it's called. And it was good. So it was my introduction actually to his stuff, and I remember thinking, ooh, that was pretty creepy. I gotta keep an eye out for this guy.
Power Gamer over on YouTube asks a very important question. Heather, who's your favorite Persona 5 character? I'm finally playing it myself, and I love it. Good. I'm glad. Welcome to the world of Persona. Makoto is my best girl. I love Makoto. So I'm gonna go with Makoto, but you know, it's a great cast. Wonderful characters. Enjoy the game. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, jerk, what are you doing?
Play ball position.
Richard Addison, thank you for gifting those 5 memberships over on YouTube.
Thank you.
Really
That's kind.
appreciate that. Yeah, thanks. Sorry, I'm trying to scan the YouTube comments. Gabriel, the creativity kid over on YouTube says, Doug, you need to see the movie Bailey's Billions. It stars Jesus Christ, Heather. It stars Tim Curry and Jennifer Tilly as a couple who steals a dog for its inheritance. It's so cartoonishly funny and it's so bad it's good.
All right, yeah, I've never even heard of it. And I like both those actors, so I'll try to check it out.
Ramirez over on Twitch says, speaking of Macaulay Culkin, with the holidays coming up, do you prefer to watch Home Alone on its own or with the commentary?
I like it with the commentary. Well, because I grew up watching the movie so many times. And the commentary is very, very charming. It's funny because I think Chris Columbus's films are very hit and miss, but he's a smart dude and he's very interesting to listen to. And he's a guy that seems to understand filmmaking in the Hollywood system and kind of the things you have to do. And he's very open about it. And I think that's really cool. Like I think he says Home Alone 2. He's like, yeah, it's like the most by the book sequel you've ever seen. But it's like the fact that he's owning up to it. It's like, yeah, that's just kind of what you got to do. I get it. It's like fair enough. And he has made some good movies on top of that. So and then add Macaulay Culkin on top of that. It's just naturally very interesting. All of that is really, really cool.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Why do you have your brother Rob get eaten by a T-Rex in the pole position commercial? That had me laughing so hard my chest hurt.
Well, seeing how he himself is a dinosaur, I thought it made sense.
Talons, thank you for the $5 super chat. I just realized the title to this live stream here on YouTube kind of sort of says A113, to quote The Incredibles. Coincidence? I think not.
Ah, didn't even think about that. Yes, well, seeing we're all animated here, so it makes sense.
The Firstborn, thank you for the $5 super chat. You think Star Trek Beyond is as good as the previous two J.J. Abrams movies? Also, how do you feel about Into Darkness now? It improved a bit for me.
I still remember the ending being really bad. I haven't seen it since it came. All those movies, I don't think I've seen since they came out. So I should watch them again. I remember Beyond being meh. Two I really liked until it got to that ending, and one I thought was pretty solid, like a pretty good reboot of the series, while also keeping true in a weird enough way to what it is.
All right, and that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us as usual. We literally could not do this without you. So we appreciate you just so
And come see us at Grand
much.
Rapids. We're going to be at Grand Rapids this weekend. And then Brad and I are going to be at Days of the Dead in Chicago. So check us out at either of those.
Yeah. Have a great night. And again, YouTube, we will not see you on not Monday. Jesus Christ. We will not see you on Friday. You either Twitch, okay? Just no stream on Friday. But Malcolm will be on Twitch tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday, which is what my brain was trying to say in advance. I'll be back on Twitch on Monday, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Twitch, we're gonna send you over to Tamra. And enjoy your weekend.
Bye. Goodbye.